What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stochastic here on the Odd Shopper Golf channel, coming to you with another edition of Lindy's Best 9 Bets. It's PGA time. It's the Memorial time. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Goes a long way for me on this video. Goes a long way for you. That way you become a prize whenever great content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods. I was in the Midwest. My face is just swollen. It's allergy season. My producer, Alicia, tells me it's been the worst allergies have been. I can tell you for a fact that that doesn't shock me. Without a doubt, the worst that I have felt on one of these programs in a while. I think I was actually sick a couple months ago on one of these as well. But you guys don't care about that. As long as the content is good, as long as I push through and I persevere, so we can make some money this weekend in Murfield Village. Looking forward to a Jack's tournament, the Memorial. Lots of opportunities. I've got my 9 best bets per usual here on the Odd Shopper Golf channel, but we've got BetMGM fired up here for another week. Excited to have them here on the program, not only because you get up to $1,000 in bonus bets if your first bet loses. Yes, we're talking up to $1,000. If you put $400 on a bet and it loses, you're going to get $400 back in bonus bets. If you put $20 on your first bet at BetMGM, it loses, you're going to get $20 back in bonus bets. And of course, if that bet wins, congratulations. You keep your money. You do pass go. You collect however many dollars. No, Monopoly, it applies to everything in life. But we also have 2 months of premium Discord when you sign up in that link below. Great stuff going on. I'll talk about it a little bit later for a hot second, but wanted to give you all the information on the onset before we dive in because, well, we got some work to do. Last week, not my best week in the PGA streets. Actually had a really good PGA championship despite not hitting the winner. Thanks, Brooks Koepka. No live people this week, though. Looking forward to it. No Brooks Koepka's going to rain on my parade. Fading him hasn't been fun this year. But either way, I'm ready to rock. If you are too, let's get ourselves to the 9 best picks scorecard, hole number 1. We go to the matchup department, per usual. Hole number 1, great stuff. And this has kind of been a staple of our betting card in the matchup department this season. Seems like the top player versus the other top player, there tends to be a piece of value, and there's no doubt that I want to bash my head against a wall when it comes to Scottie Scheffler this season. Yet again, put himself into contention. At least he didn't win, and my guy Ben Raza was able to cash a 100-to-1 Emiliano Grillo ticket at the Colonial this weekend. Wowzer. That is a nice one to be cashing. Biggest ticket that, well, either one of us has cashed this season, that's for sure. Hit a lot of outrights here, but some of them have been shorter numbers. Sam Burns at the match play was the biggest at 55-to-1. But looking at the board this week, Jon Rahm versus Scottie Scheffler. Shouldn't surprise you that these are the top 2 players. They've won, give or take, 39,842 golf tournaments the last 6 months. I might be rounding up a little bit, but Scottie Scheffler coming off of T3, T2, T5, T11, T10, win, T4, T12, win, T11, T7, second, T9, Basically, he sounds like a computer. This is a dude who has not finished outside of the top 12 once. Not once since the CJ Cup, which was the first tournament of this calendar PGA Tour season. Go back to 2022 into the 2023 season. That is dumb. Just flat out dumb. I don't even know what to say about it. I've never seen... This is Tiger-esque stuff, and even Tiger found himself out of contention in a tournament or 2. This consistency is next level, but I'm getting plus money to back Jon Rahm, who himself, outside of this PGA Championship, has a second, T15, first, missed the cut at the Players because he withdrew after being sick, so that doesn't really count. T39, first, third, T7, first, T8. Kind of the same thing. I don't really know how to separate these two, and why are we getting plus money on one side of this? It's a little bit surprising to me. And yes, Jon Rahm, if you're talking about the last tournament that they both played together, the PGA Championship, Scottie Scheffler waxed him. I totally get it. But I don't understand the plus money situation here. Rahm versus Scheffler should be a pick'em. It should be a -110 pick'em most of the time. Pick your poison and move on with your day. So pretty easy, straightforward play for me here. I do have Jon Rahm at 49% to Scottie Scheffler's 51% if we're being dead honest. So what, -108 to -112? But considering we're getting +105 Jon Rahm, thought about making this a unit play, but I'm going half unit across the board yet again this week. Starting it off, Jon Rahm beating Scottie Scheffler for the tournament at the Memorial. Hole number 2, and I think this is just a skill set situation that I'm looking at. Murfield Village. It is long. It is firm and fast and difficult, and it is going to be a lot of fun. But there's one player that I think has a decent enough skill set to come back from the back of the pack. He'll be in the outright section as well. That'll save us a little bit of time. But KH Lee, he's somebody that I definitely have been highlighting, starring a lot in this segment. And well, we've seen some really good finishes from him. Got the T30 at the PGA Championship. If he could have finished T20, that would have been great for the old wallet. But off the tee game, stellar as can be. Has been positive in every event since the Arnold Palmer with the driver. Then, strokes gained approach. He can gain 7.4 like he did at the AT&T Byron Nelson. He can gain 3.3. And then, well, you saw him gain 3.7 at the PGA Championship. And then he lost again 3.8 at the Charles Schwab. I think it's very clear cut to me that there's something going on here when it comes to getting off of this Bermuda grass. We saw the AT&T, he lost 7 with the putter, but gained 6.6 at the Wells Fargo, 3 at the RBC Heritage. And yes, those are still Bermuda tracks, but we're talking about firm and fast and playing a little bit different than some of these slower greens that you've been running into. And yeah, the Charles Schwab, that was running quick, but those greens were just, I mean, they were baked out. If you watch Saturday, Sunday, pretty tough to roll a putt when it's just bounce, bounce, bounce. Either way, he is very hot and cold with the putter, but I still think that the consistency of the ball striking is something I want to be targeting in the outright market and in the head-to-head market when we're talking about going up against Adam Hadwin. Now, this is definitely a putter extraordinaire. That's how he gets by. But 296 is basically his driving distance, 64% driving accuracy, and well, he had 3 missed cuts in a row. Valspar, RBC Heritage, Wells Fargo, then 34th at the AT&T and 40th at the PGA. What are we doing here? Why is KH Lee sitting there at minus 105 and Adam Hadwin a favorite in this matchup? I don't get it. Adam Hadwin has the better career thus far, but I think KH Lee is in better form, and I think he's going to have the better career going forward. So again, this is one of those situations where you need it to be better than 50-50 when you're talking about minus 105. You're still laying the juice, so you got to be paying attention to it. But I think long-term, I've got this closer to a 58, 59% to 42, 41% on the other side for Adam Hadwin. I'm willing to take my chances, especially considering 4 missed cuts in his last 7 events does Adam Hadwin have. I said that like Yoda. I'm not going to do my Yoda. I don't really have a Yoda. So here we are. We're just going to go with my KH Lee impression. That is being very good at golf. I wish I could do that from time to time. KH Lee, friends, he gets it done against Adam Hadwin. Hole number 2. To the make miss cut department we go, and well, there's not a whole lot of value with the made cut department currently on DraftKings FanDuel, the 2 spots where it's currently offered. So both of these plays are going to be minimal plays on the missed cut side of it. Now, somebody who currently lives in the state of Ohio and loves this golf tournament, but burned me here 2 years ago, and I'm still mad about it, is Jason Day. Yes, his wife was pregnant. Yes, it was COVID. Yes, he ended up withdrawing before the tournament when he was locked in my DFS lineup. Still a little bit upset, but you know what? From a betting perspective, that would have been great if he had teed off and then withdrawn. That would have been awesome because then we would have cashed this ticket that I'm looking at here. And Jason Day, he's somebody who's been awesome. He's been in form this entire season. In fact, a lot more expensive in the DFS markets, but we have now 2 missed cuts sandwiched in between that win he has at the AT&T Byron Nelson. Yes, cut at the Wells Fargo, 72-70, then wins the AT&T Byron Nelson, 64, 69, 66, 62, holy mother of God, 62 final round, and then PGA Championship, 76, 72. Have a great weekend, drive home safely, which he did to Ohio. I'm sure he took a private jet because that's, PJs, that's what they do. Whereas my PJs are just like $8 from Goodwill. Doesn't matter. Who cares? We're going to be able to cash these tickets, my friends. I'm looking at Jason Day as somebody who could definitely be feast or famine, no doubt about it. He's been awesome this entire season, but maybe getting the win slows him down here a little bit. And this is really more to do with what I think the value is as opposed to what I think happens. Do I think Jason Day makes the cut? Yes, I do. Is it worth it at nearly 3-1 over at FanDuel Sportsbook to take the shot? Yes, I think it is. Plus 280. 2 of his last 3 cuts in a field that is very strong. Sure. Sign me up. Give me some opportunity here. Jason Day, kind of caught me by surprise to see him at this high of a number. So plus 280, willing to take a little sprinkle there. Wouldn't also surprise me, I want to throw this out there, to see him compete as well. So do not get carried away. Just a standard half unit play, hole number 3. Hole number 4, let's shut the door. And Tom Kim is going to be the one that I want to pick on in this one as well. Another miscut section. Yes, no real value in the made cut section as I'm looking at it right now. You could parlay pieces together and there's really, I'm not going to do it. You shouldn't do it either. It's going to kill your expected value, that's for sure. But in terms of missing cuts here, Tom Kim, he's been playing interesting golf is probably the right way to describe it. We now have 2 missed cuts in his last 4 events, that being the RBC Heritage and the PGA Championship, and wouldn't you know it, the field looks eerily similar to this one. Now, he does have a made cut, T23 at a strong field event in the Wells Fargo, but can we establish that he likes Quail Hollow based on the President's Cup last year, based on this season? Like, I think it's a pretty easy thing to say that he has experience there, but Tom Kim, 0 experience at this golf tournament, and that, my friends, is a little bit of an issue when you talk about him being as valued as what he is in this field. I don't really want to go out of my way to pick on him or say that he's just horrible. Would it surprise me to see him be in contention either? No, but one of the superpowers he's had on tour when he's won, when he's gone out and competed, is he gains massive amount of strokes with the putter. He's been broken with the putter for pretty much this entire season. In 6 of his last 7 events with strokes gained data, he has lost massive strokes with the putter. Not just a few. We're talking 2.1 at the PGA Championship, 3.5 at the Wells Fargo, 3.1 at the RBC Heritage. Those, my friends, are 3 of his last 4 events, and that is not very good. The ball striking been surprisingly better than what I was expecting for Tom Kim, because, well, I don't really think of him like that. And however, the irons have been just kind of thoroughbred good since last spring. So I don't really know what to make of that. All I know is that Tom Kim is not somebody I'm going out of my way to be backing here this week at the current numbers in the market. So why not have a little bit of a sprinkle for a little bit of a bonus there on hole number 4, miscut plus 220, best available line currently at FanDuel Sportsbook. Make sure you're shopping those at OddsShopper. You can sign up for that in the link below as well. But as it stands right now, Tom Kim to miss the cut, my favorite of the 2 between him and Day. Friends, BetMGM, that is where you want to be signed up here as we lead into the outright market because, well, they have some phenomenal numbers, especially in baseball. And I do Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks in the MLB streets Monday through Friday over at the OddsShopper channel. You want to be checking that out. You need to be checking that out if you like to put a little extra money in your pocket. And BetMGM is one of the best spots to get some of those batter props that I am so in love with. So total bases, home runs, great numbers available at BetMGM. Yes, we have the NBA Finals coming up as well. They've had some same-game parlay stuff that's had some positive expected value using the OddsShopper tool. So lots of great reasons to get over to BetMGM, as well as this. 2 months of premium Discord you're going to be getting when you sign up below. That's myself, Ben Raza, Eitan Shander, Isaiah Suarez. So many of these guys behind the scenes here. Well, not even behind the scenes, in front of the camera here for you at OddsShopper and the OddsShopper Golf channel. They will be giving you their best bets week in, week out over in the premium Discord. I put my betting card in there every single day, talking PGA on the Tuesday, Wednesdays, talking baseball every day, talking NBA throughout the playoffs. Great stuff. You want to be signed up, get those 2 free months at BetMGM in addition to up to $1,000 in bonus bets back when you have your first wager and it loses. So when you make a wager over at BetMGM, your first wager when you sign up at the link below using promo code OSInsider, if you bet $20 and it wins, you're going to get that money. But if you bet $20 and it loses, you're going to get $20 in bonus bets. So there is no crazy amount of risk involved. You're going to get that money back in bonus bets to be able to utilize no matter what. And that is all the way up to, yes, $1,000. So bet $500, get $500 back in bonus bets if it loses. Whatever you feel comfortable with, you have an opportunity to utilize over with our friends at BetMGM. That's only if you're 21 and over. And if you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. Alrighty, y'all, you've been waiting for it. To the outright markets we go. Hole number 5. What an unbelievable start to the card we have here. I'm going straight down the line in terms of the biggest number to the smallest number. And I have an interesting betting card this week, that's for sure. And it kicks off with a guy who wasn't even in this tournament until Monday. because he was a late add. Somebody withdrew. He gets added. It is Aaron Rai. Yes, the Englishman who I think has some of the best iron play on the entire PGA Tour. Yes, he is 36 in strokes gained approach, but also even better with the driver so far this season. And that's not even something I was expecting to have come to fruition right from the get-go. He is 31st in strokes gained off the tee. Now, he falls into that category of guys where it's like, what's going on here? We have a 3 missed cut stretch followed by a 12th last week at the Charles Schwab, where he gained 7.4 with the approach. Well, he gained 7.4 at Muirfield. He has a very, very, very good chance of at least jumping into that top 10 market. And now I'm going to be sprinkling in a play at better than 10 to 1. Yes, plus 1100 is what you're looking at for the top 10 market. But I'm highlighting only outrights on this one. And because of the short end that I have at the tail end of my betting card, well, specifically one player that I'm going to be going to, and it's not Rahm or Scheffler. So it could easily become even shorter if I wanted it to. I need to have a long shot or two to couple what I have at a 10 to 1 play. So I'm doing that with Aaron Rai at 250 to 1 plus 25,000. I think this is the longest play I've had, period. This would be a wild one for him to win as his first event, but at this kind of a number, it's a player that I believe in, that I've had starred, highlighted for a while, who I think could just show up and win any random golf tournament on the PGA Tour. And so at 250 to 1, I think this is the first time he's made an appearance on the betting card in the outright section, but I think it was due. Aaron Rai, 250 to 1, hole number 5. What a time to be alive, that rhymed. Hole number 6 we go, and now it gets a little bit shorter, but this is a player I talked about earlier, K.H. Lee, just a ball striking extraordinaire, and he also hits it long, which is useful at Muirfield. You got to work it around, hits it over 300 yards on average, and actually just can really move it if he wants to from time to time. He's been positive strokes gained off the tee in every event since the Genesis this year back in February. That's really good. The approach can gain massive amounts of shots like he did in that 8th place finish at the Wells Fargo, 3.3. Gained 7.4 at the approach at the Byron Nelson. Talked about the broken putter during that stretch as well. But you go back, he won the AT&T Byron Nelson in back-to-back seasons, a pretty shootout-prone type golf course. That is not what we're looking at here in Muirfield Village. But yet, even though he hasn't performed as well on some of these more difficult tracks, I think he's kind of due. We do have a 19th at the Valspar, a 23rd at the Masters, an 8th at the Wells Fargo, which I value as a pretty difficult golf course in Quail Hollow. Wouldn't completely shock me to see him jump into the top 10 here as well. So him and Rai are going to be top 10 plays for me, in addition to the, I mean, you don't even have to bet the half unit. You could go to a quarter unit in something like this and really round out your betting card. So 150 to 1, too large of a number when we talk about the upside I believe exists with one K.H. Lee. So yeah, there you go. Hole number 6, put him on the card. Of course it's that time, friends. Hole number 7, Sam Burns. Did you think we were really not going to be betting Mr. Feast or Famine himself? Yes, have we been getting burned by Burns more than we haven't this season? Sure. But we're still up money on him by a landslide due to that win at the match play earlier this year. And, well, he went back after a week of horrors at the PGA Championship, lost 8.5 strokes gained tee to green, backed it up with a 6th last week at the Charles Schwab. Yes, 9.2 strokes gained tee to green. That's the kind of crazy shit you're going to get with Sam Burns week in, week out. You never know what you're going to get. He's a box of chocolates, yada, yada, yada. Forrest Gump this, Forrest Gump that. So, Sam Burns, he's that kind of a dude. He gained 6.1 strokes gained around the green. Where did that come from? I have no idea. Zero clue, but that's what you get with this guy. When he's confident, when it's firing on all cylinders, he's going to be a winner on the PGA Tour. He's done it time and time again the last 3 seasons. So why would we miss out on an opportunity for a guy who, well, I mean, yes, he liked that golf course, the Charles Schwab. He seems to be one of those horses for courses, and this wouldn't fall into the category of a course that would necessarily suit him beyond something else. But when you gain that kind of amount of strokes on a very difficult golf course in Colonial that puts a lot of requirement on your irons and just putting the ball in play, so does Muirfield Village. So can we just take that form, bottle it, Move it to Ohio. That would be lovely, Sam Burns. Do it for me, Daddy, one time. Hit me, baby, one more time, Sam Burns. Hit me, dealer. I don't have any more hit me jokes. That's all I got. Sam Burns is 45-1 over at PointsBet, currently the best available line. Give me it. Check. Hole number 7. Now we enter the I don't know what I'm doing with my life section of the program, and I don't think Justin Thomas knows what he's doing with a putter. So, it's a little bit different. One's life, one's putting. Well, no, golf is life. The rest is just details. I think I had that next to my bed growing up, but you know what? Doesn't matter. We're looking at Justin Thomas. I don't think he's been on the betting card in a hot second. This used to be one of my stands. This used to be one of my dudes. And I don't really know what happened with the putter. But he's second in strokes gained around the green. And, well, Muirfield Village, a lot of it is scrambling. A lot of it is making sure your iron play off the tee. It's just going to test every facet of your game. You're looking for all-around good players. And, well, you're one hot putting week away from Justin Thomas having a pulse and doing something good. Now, Memorial. It's an interesting situation. We didn't have him playing there in 2022. In 2021, 42nd, but that was coming off of a week where you had back-to-back events that were being played at Muirfield Village. Yeah, you heard me. COVID was going on. It was a whole thing. You had some weird stuff where, well, they had to play an event ahead of time. And so back in 2020, you had him go out and, well, it was him and Colin Morikawa. They were battling back and forth. There was some wild stuff in 2020. Just wild times to be alive overall. But the Memorial finished second at the workday, lost in that playoff, and then finishes 18th at the Memorial. So he still has a second in the back of my head on a little bit easier conditions. I know they set them up a little bit differently, but we're talking about Justin Thomas, who still bombs it off the tee, is still gaining strokes in all the departments across the board in most tournaments. The PGA Championship, throw it out the window. It's one tournament. But the Wells Fargo, 7.1 strokes gained tee to green, 6.8 the week before at the RBC Heritage. You had the Valspar, finished 10th, 7.3, 5.2 at the Players, 5.9. Are you sensing a trend? Because I am. That's 5 events where you gained at least 5+ shots tee to green. Just get the ball on the surface, have Bones read your putts, figure something out, and move on with your life. But this really has to do more with what the number is. A player like Justin Thomas, we've seen these numbers get extended. We don't have the largest field that we have on the PGA Tour. It's a special little invite tournament. I mean, you get some really weak players at the bottom half. I mean, there's something named a pot guitar that I didn't even recognize that exists, that he's going to be playing golf from South Africa. I can't do Afrikaans. That would be cool if I could. You have Echeverria, who's going to be in this field. You have something named, not Trevor Lawrence, another South African that's going to be in this field. So many weird guys on the back half of this field. You have some really weak players in addition to this very top-heavy, incredible field. So it's not about making cuts. It's about who can possibly overtake Jon Rahm and Scottie Scheffler. Justin Thomas won a PGA literally a year ago. Very difficult golf course there in Oklahoma. And, well, Muirfield Village is going to be no joke, but he's played there decently before. Another feast or famine type track when you start talking about the Memorial for him. Has 3 missed cuts in his tenure there, but also a 4th and 8th, 18th, 42nd, and of course that workday that I referred to before, that's a second. I'm still going to chalk it up 1 for the Gipper. So there you go, friends. Justin Thomas, first appearance on the betting card of the season, because him at 30-1, I think I have to take a shot on it. But I set it up for you. I think I told you kind of where I was going to be going with this play. It's not going to be Rahm. It's not going to be Scheffler, but it is the 3rd shortest player in terms of odds on the board. I am definitely going to be betting Patrick Cantlay this week, even at 10-1. Shorter number than you're going to see on this card a majority of the time. We did take Finau going up against Rahm there in the Mexico Open, but, well, I was forced to on a wide open golf course where bombing it was sublime, and, well, we made it. We got that cash money, honey, and hashtag no regrets right across the chest. But hole number 9 here, I don't know how to get away from Patrick Cantlay on this golf course. He has been unbelievable on this golf course. Would you like to count the ways? Well, he's got 2 wins, a 3rd, and a 4th, and that's just in his last 5 trips. He has a 32nd and a 35th. He's never missed the cut. He's never not really been in contention at this golf tournament. And he gains strokes across the board in every department. He hasn't even gone crazy with a putter yet. Even in those wins, 4.7 and 2.8 strokes gained putting, that's a lot. But it's not blowing the field away in terms of just one lucky outlier putting week. And we know him to be one of the best putters on planet Earth. amongst this field, just gaining in every regard. It is unbelievable how good Patrick Cantlay can be in that department from time to time. But the ball striking, the iron play has been so significantly better than the field at Muirfield Village. He is definitely primed for another win here. Would it shock me to see him go 2 wins in his last 4 events at this golf course? No, or it would be 2 of the last 5. Good job, Eric. 3 of the last 5. Whatever. That's not the point. The point is, friends, that I understand that in 2021, he basically was gifted the win because Jon Rahm was up by at least 5 heading into that final round, had to withdraw due to contracting COVID. That was a bummer. Patrick Cantlay ends up winning that golf tournament in convincing fashion coming down the end. But I feel pretty confident that Patrick Cantlay is going to put himself back into the mix yet again this year. And, well, 10-1 as opposed to going to the shorter 6-7 to 1s that you're looking at with the best 2 players in the world. On this golf course, I think that he is more live than either of them, and that is a wild thing to say out loud. So he's got the experience. I think he's primed for his 3rd W here at the Memorial, and he was not going to be on the card. So we have 2 really long shots combined with a mid shot on our guy Burns and 2 shorter plays. Justin Thomas 30-1. And my pick to win, Patrick Cantlay, runs it back at Muirfield Village, hole number 9. And that does it for another edition of Lindy's Best 9 Bets. Head to that comment section below. Let me know your favorite plays here on my scorecard. Let me know your scorecard for this week. Again, this is just a fun bit. I'm fun. This is fun. The Odd Shopper Golf Channel. Make sure you click subscribe. Hang out with us here at the Odd Shopper Golf Channel going forward. Check out the lineup generator at Stokastic. Check out all the great offerings we have in the PGA streets over there as well. Projections, so many things to help you make some money in the PGA department. But I'll be back next week. We're getting eerily close. I'm going to be at the US Open at LA Country Club. Very much looking forward to that. I have a fancy little box. That's going to be nice. So I'll be doing some live stream stuff. Go follow me at Twitter at Eric Lindquist and at Instagram at Eric C. Lindquist if you want to see all my adventures at the US Open, of which there are going to be many, maybe a cocktail or 2 involved too. But until then, my friends, I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck at the Memorial this weekend.